Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Bradford Stadium, where tonight Sunset League football is just about ready to get underway. Fritz Pollard, Ron Cluey, Keith Jones downstairs. Happy to have all of you along with us as we proudly present high school football here on LATV. And Ron, this is a big one, as it usually is. Los Alamitos traveling to take on the Aztecs, both of them 2-1. Last week, both unbeaten, and surprised the Los Alamitos Griffins by Fountain Valley. On the other side, the Aztecs surprised by Newport Harbor, and here we are. It's a typical Los Al-Esperanza game.
Oh, absolutely, Fritz. When you look at it tonight, I mean, this is a big weekend for the whole Sunset League, because you have the Bell game going on between Fountain Valley and Edison down in Orange Coast College tonight. This is going to set a lot of teams as whether they're going to make the playoffs tonight. The guys who win tonight are definitely going to be in the playoffs. The teams that lose are going to be potentially on a coin flip as to whether they're not going to be playing when it comes time to get into the playoffs. For Los Al tonight, the main thing is, boy, they cannot have the letdown they had in the second half last week. I mean, they went flat. A lot of mental errors were made out there, possibly even mental errors by the coaches also. So Los Al has to step up, play hard the whole game, and keep pushing against Esperanza all the time. For Esperanza, this is a game where basically they have to just do what they do best, which is try to run the ball hard, keep Los Al off the field, and use up the clock as much as they can. But talking to some of the Esperanza personnel before the game, I mean, they said, you know what, we just don't have the pass defense this year. If Los Al can throw the ball on us, this could be an ugly game. So as we go to kickoff here by Cadlitz, let's see how this is going to go.
That goes into the end zone. Drew Hutzfeld gets that, and we'll bring it out to the 20-yard line as the Aztecs of Esperanza will get things started.
Okay, let's go for the offense for Esperanza. You got Sean McDonald at QB, he's a senior. Then at halfback, you have Jared Moore. Wide back, Drew Hutzfeld. Fullback, Casey Weberick. And then at the X-back, David Perez. We're going to run that fly offense again. Then tight end, Jake Pendleton. And then Corey Hobbs, Mike Roca, Todd McDonald, Dustin Deniz, and Brad Knutson on the line. So we're going to see this goofy fly offense again for Esperanza.
Gets the handoff, and heading upfield is Sean McDonald. We will see all kinds of players touching the ball tonight. In fact, it's interesting. The wingback has more passing yards than the starting quarterback.
Yeah, this is kind of like an old double wing offense that you're going to see out here. Now for Los Al on defense, Chris Eaton on the one defensive end, then Josh Snitzer, Mason Powell in the middle, and Jacob Frembling on the other side. In the linebacking positions, Nathan Castaneda and Joe Lent and Twin Fernandez, and then Anthony Napolis. And then in the backfield, you've got John Cherie, Shaquille Richardson, and then Josh Barut at the safety position.
Handoff going far side. That, again, McDonald with the second call of the evening.
So, Fritz, what we're seeing already is we're seeing Esperanza is going to bring the running game at Los Al. I mean, they're going to try and control the ball. And to me, this is the one way that they're going to keep themselves in the game. I mean, just run the clock out. Don't let Los Al get the ball. And, I mean, you know, over the years these teams have played, you know, you look at all the stats and you know, all the games and the minimal point differential that exists between the two teams after all these games have been played. You know, this is a good, tight contest that happens every year.
Hutzfeld spread out, gets across the 35-yard line.
Los Al's defense does a good job. Looks like John Cherie was maybe the first one to get there, and then Chris Eaton made the final tackle on that play. Nice to see Chris back out, finally playing full speed. Had a knee injury in the practices just before the season started. He was projected to be a starter from the beginning of the year, but had to sit out for about the first 6 or 7 weeks, and now finally back able to play, so good to see him back on the field.
Chris Eaton also lining up on the offensive line tonight. So Sean McDonald looking down at a 2nd down and 5. Handoff right up the middle, and Los Alamitos sniffs that out.
Yeah, Los Al's defense, Napolis looks like he was the first guy there on the hit, and tell you what, we'll be probably only calling 1 or 2 names tonight for most of the time on the tackles, but it's a good job of gang tackling by Los Alamitos. There's typically 3 or 4 bodies. We'll just try to call the guys who are first there. But Fritz, I mean, this is what you have to do if you're Los Al. You basically have to just spy out each of the running backs and say, okay, everybody has a guy to tackle. Make sure you tackle him every play. And so far, Los Al's doing a pretty good job on this set of downs.
9:47 left here in the first quarter. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 4. So for Esperanza, very important. Hutzfeld going far side. Hurdling one of his own men. In on the stop there is Joe Lent.
Yeah, this is going to be real close. Depends where they mark it. It looks like they've marked it maybe about a yard short. So Esperanza looks like they're bringing their punt team on the field. So good start for Los Al's defense here, Fritz.
Josh Brute will step back for the Griffins, awaiting the punt. Punting for the Aztecs is Dries. Tyler Dries lets it fly. Baruch's going to take this, almost a line drive, taken on the 29-yard line, gets a decent return out near the 40-yard line, and the Los Alamitos offense will set up shop.
Yeah, and for Los Al on offense tonight, you're going to have, of course, Clark Evans at QB. Great job he's been doing this year. Cody Perez at running back, and then in the wide receivers, you're going to have Daryl Jenkins, Paul Richardson, John Cherie, and Josh Gassler. Then on the line, Kevin Rollins, Chris Eaton, Ryan Derry at center, David Foote, and then Michael Holmquist. So Los Al going to be bringing everybody tonight.
There's Coach Barnes, the winningest coach in Orange County history, and last week he was fit to be tied. Surprising loss against Fountain Valley, and let's see how this offense responds. Ball on the ground. Not a great start for the center, Ryan Derry and Clark Evans.
Yeah, and I don't know if we have a close enough shot on a replay to see what happened there, but looks like Evans just never got the ball, and I don't know if he got under center far enough or if it was just a short snap, but not the way you want to start with a loss of 4 yards.
Well, what we heard last week is the second half was an absolute debacle for the offense in Los Alamitos. And that's not a great way to get it started against your crosstown rival. Clark Evans couldn't find anyone open, goes up the middle, and that is what Clark Evans is so good at doing.
Yeah, that was a nice decision by Evans, Fritz. I mean, he was looking for Richardson coming across the middle there. And the thing was, is Paul was covered by 2 guys, so it looks like Sean Avila on the tackle there. Let's go over the defense now for Esperanza. You got Lopez, Avila, Esparra as the line. Then you have Hunsaker, Shell, Vargas, and Werner as the linebackers. And then in the backfield, you have Pierce, Stubblefield, Amos, and Poole.
7:49 left here in the first quarter. Big third down for the Griffins. Your man in motion is Jenkins. Big time rush on Clark Evans and throws it short, looking for Jenkins coming across the middle, and a great rush by that front line of the Aztecs. Andy Shell in on the stop for the Aztecs.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Fritz. I mean, one thing you see there is that Los Al trying to run the slip screen. And I mean, when these two teams play each other, I mean, both coaching staffs could draw up the opponent's game plan. I mean, these guys have played each other so much, studied so much film, they know exactly what's coming, and Esperanza did a great job there of doing a speed rush on Clark Evans. John Cherie back into punt. This will probably be a soccer-style or rugby-style kick.
Hayden Pierce stands at his 35-yard line.
Nice kick by Cherie. Oh, great one. Let's see, can they knock it down? No, went into the end zone, but still took a good kick and good bounce. Almost went out of bounds, so Cherie does a job that he's supposed to do, puts Esperanza on the 20-yard line.
And Nick Richardson did all he could do to get down that sideline. So that's what they're planning to do, that rugby kick, and send in a gunner down there to try and down that.
Yeah, one of the things, Fritz, when you do that low rugby kick, the ball has a tendency to kick and roll, so you pick up a lot of yardage. You know, as a punting purist, I'll say it's the ugliest thing you ever see, but it's effective.
Absolutely. Well, 7:28 left here in the first quarter. Both teams' defense came to play tonight. McDonald hands off to someone. We'll let you know here momentarily.
So Los Al, good job by the D-line there to pack it up. Hit somebody in the middle. That was the first guy to make the hit, and then the linebackers came in for support. And that's what Los Al's going to have to do tonight, you know, Fritz, is that those 4 down linemen are just going to have to fill holes and let those 4 linebackers really find a place to hit somebody. And that's why Los Al's only going with 3 DBs right now, because they know Esperanza really does not have any kind of passing attack.
Hunsaker in on the last carry. McDonald up the middle.
Boy, good game by Esperanza that time. Picked up probably about 7 yards. So it looks like Napolis on the tackle there. Also looks like the safety came up. Josh Barut from the back area made a good hit to try and stop him, but still it's going to be about 3rd and 1 here.
Matt Hunsaker on the carry again. So 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, I think this is one thing we're going to see tonight. We're going to see a lot of motion in the backfield from Esperanza, and really you have to try and guess who has the ball.
They give it to Hunsaker again, goes right up the middle, and a nice stop by the Griffin D-line.
Boy, this is going to be real close. I'm seeing, yeah, they're motioning for the first down, so he just got over the line. Again, Mason Pau on the tackle there, but good job by Los Al to hold him to only 1 yard. Unfortunately, Esperanza only needed 1 yard for the first down.
Clock continues to run here in the first quarter, 6:03 left. Ball on the 30-yard line, and Aztecs got a little something going here. That's the pitch.
Oh, great tackle.
Out to Moore.
Boy, that was number 22 for Los Al. That was Robert Watson came up, made a great tackle there. Boy, just excellent pursuit. That's what you want to see from Los Al, do quick pursuit. I tell you what, hey, Fritz, one thing I'm seeing this year that I haven't seen in past Esperanza teams, I don't see any blinding speed in that backfield. You know, if you remember Timmy Temetope, I mean, yep. You know, that guy just had blitz speed plus legs about the size of tree trunks. I mean, tough kid to bring down. And in the past, other Esperanza running backs, a lot of speed. This year, I don't see that same kind of speed where the guys are going to just break one open.
3-yard loss in the play. That'll bring up second down and 13, and Los Alamitos all over it again.
Yeah, nice job. Looked like Mason Powell got in there first, and then again, Watson came in on the play there.
Pierce, the ball carrier. Correction, Jared Moore, the ball carrier.
So now this is a situation for Esperanza that they really don't like. 3rd and long with pretty much a non-existent passing attack. It's going to have to be, you know, what they call a little trickeration here. Try and see if they get somebody in motion, make something happen here.
Jared Moore with a 5-yard average. There he goes, and he's adding to it there and picks up the first down and then some.
Boy, I tell you, nice play by Esperanza. I mean, you know, spread everybody out and then sent the running back out off the tight end. Picked up a good 12-yard run.
Paul Richardson in on the stop. Jared Moore, the 6', 200-pounder. They like to hand off to him. He is their big back. 127 carries, 688 yards before tonight's game. Again, over a 5-yard average and 7 touchdowns. So we've been seeing him mix it up, but Jared Moore is going to be the workhorse tonight in the backfield. 1st and 10, clock at 4:20 in the first quarter.
There we go.
Tightening up on Moore.
Good job by Los Al's defensive line. Trying to see who gets off the bottom of the pile there. Looks like it was Pau again and possibly Chris Eaton in there on the tackle. Well, Fritz, it's not going to be fancy tonight. I mean, nope. I think we're going to see primarily, you know, if Esperanza runs 75 plays tonight, I'm going to tell you probably 73 of them are going to be running plays.
Well, we have not seen a passing play yet, and here we are, 3:46 into the first quarter, or remaining in the first quarter, and for Esperanza, this is their second series. Hunsaker and Moore. McDonald going to keep it, finds a lane. Being very close to the first down.
Yeah, it looks like the spot is going to be a first down. Looks like Josh Pruitt made the tackle there, along with Robert Watson. And I tell you, if you're Esperanza right now, you got to be feeling pretty good because here they're burning time off the clock. I mean, already 8.5 minutes burned off. Forced Los Al to take a 3-and-out when they had the ball on their offensive series. So Esperanza definitely in control of the game at this point in time.
Well, and Ron, how much does this kind of offense wear that defense down?
Oh, absolutely. It's going to wear that line down. I mean, that's one thing Esperanza has always been noted for. They've always had good O-lines. Getting that inside handoff. There we go. Nice job. That looks like that was Jacob Frembling there. Good job wrapping up. Had good, nice help from Joe Lent on that play. So again, Los Al only allowing about a half-yard gain. And Fritz, that's the thing. I mean, Los Al's going to just have to be consistent on defense with that tonight. You know, you can't have it where you stop them on 2 plays and then allow an 8 or 10-yard gain to occur. I mean, you're going to have to just, you know, push that focus every time to make sure tackle guys, don't let anybody get free. And it's going to be tough because there's potentially 5 running backs coming out of that backfield every time.
Well, that's what's happened so far is they've given up that first down run. So let's see it, 2nd down and 9. McDonald cuts it up.
And again, Los Al's defense does a great job of swarming all over the Esperanza running back there.
Well, Ron, take a look at this. We're at 2:14 left here in the first quarter. The Los Alamitos offense has only touched the ball once.
Yep.
3rd down and 9.
3 plays in the first quarter so far. And I mean, for Esperanza, if nothing else, they want to keep this game close. They do not want this game to get into a blowout situation. With the offense they have, they cannot score quick points.
Well, and Ron, take a look at this. If you want to draw up a game plan against Los Alamitos, keep their offense off the field, and when they are on the field, put pressure on Clark Evans. They've been executing on both those points very well tonight.
Yeah. I mean, also, if you think about it, too, Los Al likes to script the first 15 plays for the offense. Heck, they've only had the first 3 in so far. We're already through the first quarter.
We may be in halftime before they get to the 15.
So, you know, it's pretty tough to figure out what you're going to do when you can't even get your team on the field.
Now, this will be interesting. Passing down, 3rd and 9. Will they put it in the air?
No, I don't expect it at all. I expect it's going to be another fake handoff with Sean McDonald carrying the ball, or else a quick pitch to the outside and see if they can't get someone to sweep up. Now, what I do expect is they will come out in a passing formation and try and spread Los Al's players out.
Ball sits on the 45-yard line, Ron. Maybe is this 2-down territory?
No, not unless they're extremely close. I mean, I think if it's, 4th and 5, I would expect they'll try to pin Los Al down deep at their own 5-yard line.
Well, for Los Alamitos, they just want to get the ball back before the first quarter comes to an end. 3rd down and 9. Ball sits on the 45-yard line.
Oh, we do have a pass.
Well, and that's why they don't pass much. That ball was right on the money. Should have been caught. Was a little tall. Intended for Pierce.
Had enough zip on it, but just couldn't get it down to where somebody could catch it. So a little bit surprising. Again, once again, proving why Fritz and I call games and do not coach games.
Back deep for Los Alamitos is Josh Barute.
Yeah, my expectation here, Fritz, is that Barute's not going to get much chance to look at the ball. Oh, he angled it to the sideline very nicely. Let's see, does it get out? No, it goes in the end zone.
Oh, very close.
Yeah, he tried.
Nice kick by Dries.
Yep, unfortunately, he just didn't take the right bounce for him, so it ended up in the end zone. Los Al will get the ball on their own 20-yard line with 1:38.
Unbelievable. Well, that's the game plan. If you're the Aztecs, you absolutely want to keep this potent Griffin offense off the field, and they have done that. Now this defense for the Aztecs needs to step up. They brought pressure last series, and it was effective. Of course, Los Alamitos shot themselves in the foot by putting the first snap of this game on the ground. Clark Evans from the shotgun. Right to the air, deep in their own territory. And that is complete across the 30-yard line.
This will be close for a first down. So that's Amos on the tackle there for Esperanza.
Paul Richardson with the reception.
Okay, so they do denote that it is a first down. Los Al will move the chains. And Fritz, one thing I'm expecting to see, because the information I got from last week's game is that Fountain Valley brought a very fast defensive end in on the plays all the time, and Los Al's tackles just could not stop them. I'm going to expect to see Esperanza maybe to do a little bit of linebacker blitzing on every play here to try and overload Los Al's offensive line.
Minute 12 left here in the first quarter. Clark Evans, heavy rush. Either get rid of it or get around the corner. He tries getting around the corner, and that great rush flushing Evans to the outside.
Well, this is the one thing where Evans' running ability can defeat the blitz. As long as he can shake off that first hit, he's going to have an open lane, because obviously the cornerbacks and safeties have to go downfield on coverage, and Evans is going to have a running lane. Picked up almost 5 yards on that play.
Ron, but that defensive front was in there fast.
Oh, they're going to blitz all night long, Fritz. I mean, I think they watched game film of that Fountain Valley game, and they realized you bring bodies on Los Al's offensive line and overload them, you're going to create opportunities.
Clark Evans fakes it to Cody Perez, weaving his way through that defensive secondary. Nice pickup, move the chains again.
Yeah, gets out to about the 46 line. Again, Drew Amos on the tackle. That's what you like to see. You like to see safeties making tackles downfield. That means your guys are making yards.
Well, now you start to see that playbook open up just a little bit. And for the Aztecs, they have got to be careful of that quick strike. Clark Evans and a couple of dangerous receivers, number 6, Daryl Jenkins, number 8, Paul Richardson. They will likely be called a lot tonight. Nice catch.
Right. Looks like number 8 there, Richardson, comes down with the ball. Hayden Pierce on the tackle there. So, you know, this is what Los Al is going to have to do all night long. Just get guys into open positions. I mean, if they pick up 5-6 yards, great. I mean, if someone's going to bring the blitz on you, find the hot read and get the ball out of your hands quick. And I think maybe, Fritz, this is going to be the one challenge for Clark Evans because he is a running quarterback, and the first tendency typically for guys that run well is to pull the ball down and run. And whether or not he's going to be able to look and, you know, find that hot read is going to be the challenge for him tonight.
Here we go. Oh!
So we're at the end of the first quarter. No score. Los Al almost at midfield. Referees are going to have to march about a step and a half to move the ball to the new position.
Well, and for the Aztecs, they had a very effective game plan in that first quarter. Now, Ron, when you look at where the ball is right now and the fact that Los Alamitos is starting to get something going, as a defensive coordinator for the Aztecs, do you consider maybe not getting as aggressive because Clark Evans is starting to get hot?
No, Fritz, I think, you know, it's kind of like you gotta run with what you brung to the ball. I mean, or, you know, when I don't say by ball football, I mean like the dance. You got to run what you brung to the dance. You know, if your commitment is you're going to blitz, put pressure on the quarterback all night long, you've got to continue to do it. Because if you allow Evans time to throw, you're just going to get nailed. I mean, there's just no getting around it. Los Al's receivers will pick apart Esperanza's defense.
Well, ball sits on the 49-yard line of Los Alamitos, 2nd down and 6. They were going to run Cody Perez empty backfield, and let's see if they'll line up with that. Right before the first quarter break, they put Cody Perez into the pattern. He stays in the backfield. Downfield,
great throw. That's the throws we've been looking for from Evans. Great throw to Jenkins downfield. Looked like number 6 or number 5, Grant Stubblefield, made the tackle for Esperanza there. But, boy, that's the throws. That's what you like to see. Evans stood up tall in the pocket, let his guys protect him, and then just does a nice, good level throw downfield. Daryl Jenkins comes down with the ball for a big gain.
That was a quick drop and throw. Did they bring, though, Ron, the heat that time?
Yes, they did. I saw 6 guys rushing that time, which meant 2 were coming on the blitz.
That's going to be a bad outcome for the Aztecs if they cannot get Clark Evans. Up the middle.
There he's got a lane. He's going to go. This should be in. Yes, it is.
Touchdown.
This is the danger, Fritz. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. What they're having to do is they're committing an outside linebacker in most cases to make the rush on the blitz. And what Los Alamitos is doing is the coaches are now seeing where they can evade that pressure. And I mean, Evans is just too fast to ignore. I think Esperanza is going to have to either bring the inside blitz more often and not bring the outside blitz and fill those holes, or they're going to have to figure out a different methodology of what they're doing out here. And I tell you, if they have to go off their game plan by the, 30 seconds in the second quarter, this is going to be a bad night for them.
Daniel Boyer in to kick the extra point.
Now this is interesting, and kicks good. I tell you, this is a challenge because Boyer's a lefty. And I don't know if that's the same holder who was holding for Zach Cadlitz earlier in this, the season here. But switching from a righty to a lefty, that is a tough thing to do as far as holding for a kicker. So Los Al very quickly, in the space of about 2 minutes, marches downfield and scores and puts 7 points on the board. And now I imagine we'll see the same thing happen here, as essentially Esperanza will come out and just try to control the ball the whole way through the game.
Well, and Ron, there's Coach John Barnes. Obviously, a lot of good coaching, a lot of good adjustments, because if you compared that first series early in the first quarter to what we just saw, completely two different series.
Yep, the guys did a great job.
So 11:27 left here before the halftime break, early in the second quarter, and Los Alamitos has got something going. Jared Moore back on the 2-yard line. And on the far side for the Aztecs is Hunsfeld, and that's going to go right down the middle. Moore's going to come up and take this on the 3-yard line.
Good coverage by Los Al, but he has a lane. Oh, nice open field tackle there by the Los Al player. See if he gets up. And that looks like it's number 20, Josh Barut, in on the tackle there.
And mark that on the 24-yard line, and the Aztecs will see if they can answer.
Well, for Los Al's defense, you got to be heartened by the fact that, well, if you're on the screen, folks, we are not playing Valencia tonight. We are playing at Valencia High School, but we are playing Esperanza. No, the Sunset League has not been rearranged.
Yes. Well, just in case you wanted to know where we were tonight, because sometimes Ron and I don't always know where we are. First down and 10 for the Aztecs.
Oh, great backfield tackle there. That was number 22. Robert Watson comes in, makes a quick tackle in the backfield. Fritz, this is what I'm saying. I don't see anybody as far as the running capability for Esperanza who's a guy that would just scare me to death that he's going to break out real quick, get to the outside, and run away from you. I mean, I think Los Al's defensive backs are faster than the running backs for Esperanza.
Well, and they do run the trickeration. You do not know who has the ball, and they are mixing it up real well. But without that speed, Los Alamitos starting to sniff it out. Hootsfeld trying to turn the corner.
Yeah, Kunzfeld picked up about 5 yards, got back to about the original line of scrimmage. Looked like Shaquille Richardson and Nathan Castaneda on the tackle there. So Los Al does a good job of pushing Kunzfeld out to the sideline, but he does pick up 5, so it's still 3rd and 10. Okay, last time we said no pass, there was a pass. Do we flip the coin this time? What do we think?
I think I'm just going to wait to see it develop. 10-14 early in the second quarter. They're going to keep it on the ground.
And the quarterback still has the ball. No one's picking him up.
Hootsfeld gets tackled by Castaneda.
No, I don't think that was Kunzfeld. I think that was McDonald. Kept the ball. So he faked the handoff. Oh, no, they do call it for Kunzfeld. Okay, Fritz, you had it right there. So Castaneda on the tackle. Boy, again, Fritz, this is one thing I'm seeing right now. Los Al does a great job for like 2 out of the 3 downs, and then, just doesn't sell the series. Doesn't make that one play and allows Esperanza to stay in the game. I mean, if Los Al could force a 3 and out, that would be great.
Ball sits on the 40-yard line, 9:41. Left here in the second quarter. Hootsfeld, your man in motion. Going to give it to Moore on the far side, and boy, he gets around the corner fast. There's your speedster, Ron. Yeah,
that's the guy that's got the legs. But again, Los Al, I mean, body's going everywhere. Watson has to make the tackle way downfield. Of course, for Esperanza, that's what you want to hear also. Safety's making tackles downfield. But, I mean, Los Al has got to start figuring out that you've got to cover all of these running backs. You cannot sit there and go with the flow of the play.
Ball now on Los Alamitos' 41. And these are 2 great coaches. Coach Pendleton, for years, an assistant coach behind Gary Meek. Gary Meek became the athletic director a few years ago. Coach Pendleton took over. Now we have a flag on the play.
First penalty that we've seen. I think they're going to call him for 12 men on the field. Oops. Well, that's one way to make sure your running play works.
So that will move it back. 5-yard penalty. So that'll make it a first down and 15 as Sean McDonald brings the offense to the line. Now market ball on the 46. McDonald keeps it, goes far side.
Good pursuit by... Yep, Frembling on the tackle there. Good pursuit by Los Al. Looked like number 10, Joe Lent, almost got in on the tackle there. So, be 2nd and 11 here.
7-0 Los Alamitos, scored early in the second quarter.
Well, Fritz, you know what? So far, this has been a really clean game. I mean, I know in the past you and I have seen there's been, a little bit of sniping between the linemen. Oh, great play there by Los Al. Mason Pau just hammered the running back in the backfield. Great speed displayed by Mason Pau there.
That Matt Hunsaker. So again, it's almost like we're on a tug of war. Few yards up, few yards back. Unfortunately for Los Alamitos defense, the few yards forward have been big runs and oftentimes behind Jared Moore.
Oh, almost intercepted. there you got Nathan Castaneda sitting there going, oh my gosh, he literally almost threw it into my hands. But I tell you what, give a lot of credit to Los Al's defensive line there. Got great pressure on Sean McDonald. And I think that's maybe why you see that Esperanza's passing game is not very stellar. McDonald didn't really take the time there to set himself up and make the throw. He kind of panicked a little bit, and he could have just backpedaled and bought himself a couple more yards. So once again, Esperanza probably going to try and put this ball out of bounds deep. Oh, wow, he crushed that one.
Josh Brew back for Los Alamitos.
Well, about a 40-yard punt, but it's going to be net 20 yards. So Los Al again will start with good field position at the 20-yard line.
That would have been a good punt if you were kicking from your own 30.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't said it too much tonight, but for Los Alamitos, I believe this is only their third offensive possession. They got shut down 3 and out in the first quarter, scored early in the second quarter, and here we are with 7:34 left before the halftime break. Only the third time that Clark Evans has touched the ball.
Oh boy, what happened here? 3 guys broke off the line of scrimmage. I'll tell you what, I mean, all the wide receivers took off. I don't know what they were thinking there. This was a total breakdown in focus.
Well, and we just said this has been a relatively clean game.
Yeah, but that's just a lack of focus on the part of the receivers on Los Al. I mean, it wasn't just one guy.
Yeah,
3 guys broke. Especially if you're coming on your first play of the series. I mean, you'd think everybody would know what they're going to be doing on this one.
So 1st and 15 now, under 7 minutes before the halftime break. Clark Evans from the shotgun.
Again, Evans just takes it to the outside. Clear running lane. Great downfield blocking. Oh, now we're going to have a hold called. I'm going to disagree strongly with that hold. The Los Al player had the hands inside the shoulder pads. This is going to hurt. They're going to call probably Los Al for this. This will be marched off from the point of when it occurred. So actually, this play is going to be kind of interesting because Los Al is going to pick up 5 yards and still have first down.
Well, it was that downfield receiver that got caught, and it was a great block. I mean,
I've got to disagree. I didn't see a hand outside the shoulders, and that's usually what should be called for holding. I mean, you know, you're allowed to lock up the guy as long as you keep your hands inside his arms.
On the far side, I believe that was Zach Kadlitz. So that'll bring up a now first down and 11.
Big pressure, and boy, Evans just goes down hard. I'm going to tell you, Fritz, this is what they're going to do all night long. They're going to bring that pressure. They're going to bring the blitzes in.
Hunsaker was, I believe, the lead rusher there, but there was another few maroon jerseys in the vicinity. First time tonight that Evans has been sacked. He's been hurried a couple of times. Had to fall on a bad snap, but he got hit big time there.
Yeah, but now it's about second and looks like it says 17. I'm going to say I think it looks more like closer to about 18 or 19 yards to go here. So Los Al deep in their own territory.
Clock continues to run. They're going to call it second down and 17. Clock at 4:43 before the halftime festivities.
Oh, that time again. I mean, Evans is forced to hurry, throws the ball too low. I mean, as great a receiver as Paul Richardson is, he cannot pull it off the ground.
Well, and one of the great things about these receivers is, boy, you hit them in stride and they will make the most of picking up extra yardage. So for Los Alamitos, sputtering again on offense, and you have to tip your hat to the Aztecs. Very good game plan defensively.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, I wouldn't be surprised to see the same thing next week with Newport Beach when, you know, they play, that they're going to bring guys blitzing in or try and find a fast guy coming from the outside. I mean, it's just, you got to bring more pressure than the offensive line can bear.
And there's how you circumvent that. Clark Evans goes up the middle, but nowhere near a 17-yard pickup.
Nope, looks like he got the ball out to about maybe the 25-yard line. John Werner on the tackle there for Esperanza. So Los Al's going to have to come out and punt.
Fourth down.
So we'll see John Cherie again do the rugby-style punt there.
Back for the Aztecs is Hayden Pierce. And let's see if that gunner shoots up the sideline. Last time it was Nick Richardson that shot up the sideline.
Good snap.
Cherie.
Got a bouncing ball over it. Oh, nice play by Esperanza there. Great job.
Like a center fielder.
Yep, I'll tell you what, I don't know who number 4 is for Esperanza, but he just did a great job by not letting that ball hit the ground and go.
Brennan Gray. Great field position that he protected, and they are going to need it because they are now under, 450.
Yep.
And the Aztecs are going to need some time to score. As we've seen, they pick up their yardage in little chunks.
Well, Fritz, you know, one of the things, one of the people on the chain gang tonight for Esperanza is Alan Fixie. And for anyone who knows Orange County football, Nate Fixie played for Esperanza, also played at UCLA, was the punter before my son, also did kicking there. And Al and I were talking about before the game, how do you stop a rugby-style kicker? And we said basically you let a gunner come back and try and field the ball, and that's exactly what Esperanza did there. Well, that was a little bit of a jump by Esperanza. So both teams starting off their series in these two series have mistakes, which in the 9th game of the season you really don't expect to see.
So moving back are the Aztecs. That'll make it a 1st and 15. 4:46 left here in the second quarter. And really, this game has flown by, Ron. I mean, this is a fast-moving game with the amount of it that's been spent on the ground, much of it at the hands of the Aztecs.
Well, that's one of the things about a game where you have a lot of running. I mean, you don't stop the clock. Okay, McDonald there eludes one tackler. Well, picked up about 5 yards.
May have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. That's Drew Hunsfeld.
Yep.
Or correction, Deshaun McDonald with the carry.
Yeah, it looked like Annapolis and Shaquille Richardson were on the tackle there.
So you're not going to see a lot of big yards picked up here. We've seen the biggest run of the night by Jared Moore, the 200-pound senior, number 28, but he has not been given the ball a lot tonight. They've been spreading it around fairly well between Hunsaker and Hunsfeld. You would almost think that they need to get it into Moore's hands if they want to pick up big yardage. And there they do right there.
I'll tell you what, Fritz. One thing I'm seeing here is that Los Al's getting good penetration on the ball as far as with the snap. And I see hesitation when they try to figure out who to tackle. And I think what the coaches have to tell them is that, you know what, you just tackle everybody. You know, sort it out later who had the ball. Anyone who's got a low series number on their chest, you take them to the ground, you know.
Well, this is important because with 3:28 left, if you give the ball back to Los Al, they could score.
Okay, Hunsfeld took the direct snap there on that one. He got close, but I don't think he got it. Boy, this may be a measurement.
Looks like he's going to be about 2 yards short.
So Annapolis on the tackle there.
Now, Ron, do you risk going for it here?
I think with 3 minutes left and the fact that you've seen that your defense has been pretty strong so far, my expectation would be is that you go for it here.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth the risk because Los Alamitos, given this kind of field position, I mean, even in the punt, they can score easily, although that was a great defensive stand here in the last series. But the question is for the Aztecs, they have got to keep this drive moving. Now, Los Alamitos gets the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, they've done their... Los Al's done their usual. They deferred. They won the coin toss and deferred. But, Fritz, I mean, you look at it and you go, okay, they only have to get about a yard and a half here for Esperanza to get the first down. I mean, they've been fairly successful on moving the ball, you know, on almost every play. There's been probably about maybe 6 or 7 plays where Los Al's caught them in the backfield, but for the most part, Esperanza's been moving the ball. As you said, not huge yardage, but in this situation, you don't have to move it a lot.
Well, and on the other side, where Los Alamitos can score so quickly, you almost want to risk it so you don't have to give it back to Clark Evans.
Yeah, and I'm not so sure on this play if you don't want to crash the safeties if you're Los Al and just have them fill that gap.
Jared Moore right up the middle, and he may have enough.
Yeah, he does. He got out about 2.5 yards there.
Jared Moore, first down, Aztecs.
Well, as we said, Jared Moore is the workhorse. They do move the chains. And boy, that was the speediest. I mean, there they went right upfield. Why they're not doing more of that?
Well, it's 3 yards in a cloud of dust. The reason I think why they're not doing more of that is that if you get into that mode, it becomes pretty easy to start, for the defense to figure out, just fill the gaps and then stop the running back. I mean, I think they're going to stay with this fly offense all night long. Oh, there we go. Nice job by Los Al's defensive line. Boy.
Hunsaker.
Annapolis makes a tackle, but it looked like Mason Powell just met Hunsaker at the line of scrimmage and just rode him with Annapolis coming in and doing the final hog tie to take him to the ground.
Second down and 10, ball on the 40-yard line. And we are right at the 2-minute mark. So the Aztecs, if they're going to put points on the board, they need to get moving, and they've got a little bit more hop in their step.
Quick toss here. He's looking for the flea flicker. Nobody to throw to, and that goes to the ground. Go. I'll tell you what, Chris Eaton just took Hunsaker and just took him on a takedown move. Just pounded him into the ground. So
well, and if you look at Drew Hunsfeld, 55 of 112, 49% completion ratio, 804 yards. He has more passing yardage than the quarterback, part of what we're used to seeing in this kind of an offense. So they've got to watch out for number 10 for the rest of the night. He will stand up and throw it.
Well, and that's part of the advantage you get with the double wing offense here. Again, Hunsfeld under quarterback. He's looking. Oh, great catch downfield by the Esperanza receiver. That looks like it was number 5. Stubblefield, yep.
And obviously they have got to pick it up, so good call to go to Hunsfeld to try to move this thing along, and they are. We haven't seen this.
Well, Fritz, I mean, this is kind of interesting. It looks like the coaches have more confidence in Hunsfeld as the passing quarterback. I don't know why he's not out there all the time instead of McDonald.
Well, now McDonald checks back in.
Of course, Hunsfeld goes running by. Now, quick handoff opposite side, and everybody pursues to that side. This is going to be close. I'll tell you what, Fritz, Los Al has to talk at halftime to the guys on the defensive line and tell them you just can't blindly pursue. Someone has to stay backside to pick up that running back coming across. I mean, this whole offense on the fly offense is geared around deception, and you have to get in the mode of you've got to tackle somebody.
Jared Moore. Fast and big, 200-pounder, and he can move.
So first and goal for Esperanza from the 9-yard line. About 1:22 left in the game.
Great angle as you're looking at it from the field level. McDonald going to keep it, tries to go up the middle, caught from behind and taken down.
Still looks like he picked up maybe about 3 yards there.
1:09 left here before the halftime.
Looks like trembling on the tackle there.
So clock continues to run. Aztecs and Bill Pendleton need to be a little careful in watching that clock.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they still have a timeout left.
McDonald.
Again, they're going to go off the opposite side with McDonald. Misdirection play. Okay, now they call the timeout for Esperanza.
So they get inside the 5, mark it at the 4-yard line. And I'll tell you, Jared Moore just leaning forward is a tough target to bring down.
Well, one of the things I've noticed, Fritz, is that they tend to use Hunsfeld as the guy who goes outside on the sweeps, and they tend to use Moore on the counter plays. You know, if they want to run counter to where the direction of play is going, they tend to give it to Moore to let him use that big size, try to get an isolation on a linebacker or defensive back. That's a smart way to go about it, but I think there might be a tendency there, and hopefully the Los Al coaches are going to start picking up on that tendency and get that passed on to the players and say, listen, you know, always look for Moore to go counter to the play, and somebody's just hang back and stay on the backside and make the tackle.
Well, typical Esperanza Los Alamitos game. 41 seconds left. Mark it at 3rd down and 5.
Oh yeah, and this is definitely 2-down territory.
Aztecs come to the line. Huntsfeld throws the lob, and that is caught by Moore, who goes out into the pattern. Touchdown, Aztecs.
Yep. Huntsfeld does the quick rollout, looks. Los Al's defense kind of came up a little bit expecting the run, and Moore was able to get wide open. So Esperanza on the board just before halftime with 36 seconds left. Man, the kick is good, so we have a tie game.
36 seconds left. Now again, Los Alamitos will get the ball to open the second half. So Ron, put your coaching hat on. They get the kickoff. Do they run any plays and try to put points on the board, or take this tie into the halftime break?
Well, if I was John Barnes, I'd be looking for an immediate fly pattern downfield. I'd get both the fast receivers, Richardson and Jenkins, get them on a fly pattern going deep, and just tell Clark Evans, you know, you got 3 seconds, you let that ball go.
Well, and we're going to see now back. They're going to put Jenkins back to receive the kick. And Tyler Dries hoping to put this thing into the end zone so that they don't even have to watch number 6 for Los Alamitos even get this kick.
Yeah, it seems like he's had plenty of leg with his kicking and punting so far. And this is a good kick, yep. No return on this one.
Well, it doesn't hurt when your kicker is 5'10", 230 pounds.
Yeah, he's definitely on the beefy side, kind of out of the Sebastian Janikowski mold. Never met a cheeseburger he didn't like.
Yes, absolutely. Well, so we go to the 20-yard line with 35 seconds left.
Actually, technically, the clock should not have run any time off. Because the ball went into the end zone, it still should be full time at 36.8. And I think they're running over right now to the sideline to tell the timer you should not have started the clock until the ball was actually fielded and the run back started.
So, a couple of guys to look for. Number 6, Daryl Jenkins. Number 8, Paul Richardson. Likely going to be involved in this play.
Okay, now they reset the clock, 36.4. So, yeah, I mean, I'd look for the fly patterns. Of course, the question is if Esperanza is going to be bringing that blitz on this.
Going to give the handoff.
Well, I don't understand this one very much because this is basically Los Al conceding. They're not going to move the ball.
Paul Richardson with the end around.
Dane Poole with the tackle there for Esperanza.
And the Griffins not in any hurry to get this play off. 15 seconds. Well, maybe they'll get one play off here. Clark Evans downfield, overthrows the receiver intended for Jenkins.
Well, with 1.4 seconds left, this means, okay, Los Al will have the chance to run one more play. Well, I don't know who was running what route there, but I think Clark Evans was thinking Jenkins was going to run a skinny post, and Jenkins was thinking he was going to run a fly pattern.
Second down and 4, but it really doesn't matter much. Ball on the 26-yard line. And Clark Evans with Cody Perez in the backfield will get one more shot at it. And they're just going to give it to Cody Perez right up the middle. Protects the ball, and the first half is in the books. All knotted up, 7-all. The Aztecs, Los Alamitos. Ron, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, I mean, it's a typical Los Al-Esperanza game. Both teams know each other's game plan. They're coming out playing hard. I think for Los Al, they're going to have to figure out, one, how to stop the running attack from Esperanza. I mean, they're just going to have to tell the guys, start tackling off the backside. Make sure you stop all the running backs. You can't assume, you know, who has the ball. I think on Esperanza's side, they've done a great job so far blunting Los Al's passing attack. I mean, bringing in the blitz, bringing in the speed rush all the time. You know, they've really taken Evans out of his game plan. And I think you're going to see more of the same in the second half. I mean, both these coaches, you know, Bill Pendleton, John Barnes, they know each other's teams. They know each other's game style. No surprises on either side. And I think what we're going to see is that, you know, in the second half, if Los Al cannot drive down on the first possession of the ball, it's going to be a very tight, interesting game.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to step aside and enjoy the halftime break. Don't go away. All tied up, 7-7, Los Al-Esperanza. It is everything we thought it would be. For Keith Jones downstairs, Ron Cluey, I am Fritz Pollard. We'll be right back with exciting second half action.
First, varsity song leader, Caitlin Denise.
Same thing happened to him last week. They got a speed rusher coming from the outside, and defensive, the left side tackle, backside tackle cannot stop him.
You can see when Esperanza is running that counter. The other guy come in motion, also the whole defense comes this way. They counter back the other direction.
I'm going to have her sit out because I don't want her.
Defensive ends, I don't care if they're going away from you, you step in 2 yards and stop. He wants to see if something's coming back at you.
Coming tonight?
Very bad. Watching and not being able to instant killing.
I think they're cheerleaders.
Next season,
We'll go early. Like, you know the routine.
Band members out.
No, she's doing it this morning. I mean, tomorrow morning. Because you weren't scheduled to dance.
next is Nikki Pro.
We scheduled to dance today. Because tonight they dance. The competition started tonight. No, she solos
And now, our last varsity song leader, Catherine
The new city council, maybe they'll help out with some equipment.
You know what it was also terribly effective is that
Now for
that Hoodsville came in fast. I wonder if they're going to use him more.
Just a little.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bradford Stadium, Keith Jones, Ron Cluey, Fritz Pollard, happy to have you back. There's the Aztecs of Esperanza scoring right before the halftime break and tied it up 7-all over the Los Alamitos Griffins. And the Los Alamitos Griffins will get the ball to start the second half. And Ron, this is really shaping up to be everything that we've expected over the years. Let's take a look at some stats.
Okay, for Los Alamitos, in the first half, Clark Evans 3 for 5 for 42 yards, also 8 carries for 70 yards and 1 touchdown. Basically, Evans was the total Los Al offense. For the Aztecs, Husfeld had 2 for 5 passing for 26 yards and 1 TD, and also 4 carries for 24 yards. Moore, 10 carries for 60 yards. He was also on the receiving end of the TD. And then for Esperanza also, number 6, Sean McDonald, the quarterback, 7 carries for 33 yards. So not a whole lot of offense in this game so far. It's been pretty much, I don't know if you call it a defensive struggle. I just don't think there's just much offense being generated by either side at this point.
Well, Ron, let's take a look at what worked so well for Esperanza. Drew Hunsfeld at quarterback, making a couple of plays in the air. Sean McDonald unable to do it, although Sean McDonald, the starting quarterback. Will we see more of Hunsfeld in the second half?
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of Husfeld in the second half, Fritz. I mean, he's the one guy that's been able to make something happen with the ball so far, and I think if Esperanza is going to keep Los Al off balance, they're going to have to look for Husfeld to look for the option throws. Now, I don't think he's necessarily going to line up a QB every time he makes the throw, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a quick toss to him and then maybe a throw from Husfeld downfield.
Husfeld, 7 touchdowns, yet 7 interceptions, 804 yards before tonight's contest. So we will watch what the Aztecs bring to the table offensively when they get the ball back, but for the moment, It is Los Alamitos who will be taking this kickoff.
And again, Paul Jenkins back to receive this kick.
Correction, Daryl Jenkins.
Oh, Daryl Jenkins, I'm sorry. Paul Richardson, Daryl Jenkins.
Jenkins standing on his end zone line. And with the very, very big foot, Tyler Dries for the Aztecs, the 230-pound kicker, will let it fly again. Very capable of putting it into the end zone.
And he certainly did it this time. Very deep in the end zone. Nice kick.
So out to the 20-yard line comes Clark Evans. Offensively, one stellar series, and other than that, it has not looked pretty. We've had snaps hit the turf. We've had penalties, false starts. Again, 9 weeks in, not what you expect from a very disciplined team like Los Alamitos. Cody Perez is your lone setback, and Clark Evans going to go from the shotgun. Take it to Richardson across the middle, and that is thrown down. Good coverage there. And Daryl Jenkins just trying to split that seam.
Yeah, it looks like one of the Esperanza players got a hand on the ball there, so knocked it down. So give some credit to Esperanza. I mean, one of the things you're supposed to do if you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands in the air and see if you can make something happen. Now, I will say Daryl Jenkins definitely on that quick cross was wide open.
Oh, he'd still be running. 2nd down and 10. Both of these teams 2-1 tonight, a very important game. Bringing the blitz, Clark Evans tucks it under and very well covered in the first half. That always went for a big pickup. Clark Evans taken down after just a small gain.
Well, Fritz, I think Esperanza is going to have to do the same thing I've been advocating Los Al does. They're going to have to tell their linebackers anytime you see Clark Evans start to move towards the line of scrimmage, you have to tackle him. I mean, don't assume whether he has the ball or not. You know, just automatically tackle him every time and make sure that you take him down. I mean, it's one way to stop Los Al. If you look at it, he has been Los Al's offense tonight.
Empty out the backfield, Clark Evans all by himself. 3rd down and 9. Gets a little slip screen and well covered. Esperanza comes with a great defensive stand.
Yeah, I mean, that was great speed there on Esperanza's part for the tackle. I mean, Los Al usually runs a slip screen fairly well against opposing teams, but Fritz, this again comes back to this issue. Esperanza's seen it time and time again.
Absolutely.
They've studied plenty of game film. I mean, they know when the set's coming. They know if a receiver starts cutting across the line of scrimmage real quick. I mean, first thing you do, that linebacker just drags with him the whole way across.
Hayden Pierce stands at his 44-yard line. Cherie with the rugby kick.
Good kick.
Pierce.
Good bounce. He's going to have to let it roll, and this is going to pick up another couple yards here, so maybe another 5-6 yards. So Cherie gets it down to about the 32-yard line.
And Nick Richardson and Daryl Jenkins make sure that it's down. So special teams stiffening up a little bit here. Mark the ball on the 33-yard line. 10:20 left here in the 3rd quarter. That'll bring up 1st down and 10. Let's see what kind of an offensive set the Aztecs bring out. Is it Hunsfeld or is it McDonald?
Well, McDonald's under the center, but Hunsfeld's going to definitely come in motion here.
Going to give it to Moore. Moore finding some room in that big body, hard to bring down as he lunges forward for a nice gain on 1st down.
Yeah, Joe Lent got a hand on him there, kind of knocked him down a little bit, but again, Esperanza just doing a good job of mixing it up here, and I think, you know, sooner or later, Los Al just has to go to tackle them all and sort them out later, you know, philosophy. I mean, they've had to do this in the past against Tustin. They had to do it when they played San Clemente in the past. I mean, anybody that runs one of these offenses, whether it's the double wing T, whether it's the fly offense, whether it's, you know, what Esperanza's running tonight, you've got to just tackle all the players.
McDonald going to keep it, gets strung out, cuts it up the middle in one of his better runs of the night, enough for the 1st down.
1st down, Aztecs.
Chris Eaton on the tackle there, but again, Eaton having to try and chase McDonald downfield.
And all of a sudden, the Aztecs, with some strong defense, are putting the ball back in this grinded-out offense. And the Aztecs moving the ball and moving the clock.
Handoff to Moore, again on the counter play. This is exactly what they've been doing all night long. Boy, Moore jumps over one player, still on his feet. Wow, great effort by Moore there.
Watch out for a flag. That Pau was looked like he was out of bounds when he made that tackle.
Yeah, I would say, I don't know who the final hit. Maybe Napolis was the one who made the final hit there to put Moore out of bounds, but looks like Robert Watson's coming off the field holding his wrist there. That doesn't look good for Los Al. So Richardson going to go back into the defensive backfield for Los Alamitos.
Yeah, Watson, one of the strong safeties all year long. That would be a big loss. Let's see what kind of an update we can get you on him. McDonald, Hunsfeld in motion.
Going to get off to the fullback.
Hunsaker.
Napolis again on the tackle, but I tell you, Esperanza's just moving the ball really well. You know, what's kind of funny, Fritz, is, I mean, last week Esperanza has to go to overtime to beat Marina. And, you know, if you went by that, you'd say, oh, gosh, Los Al should have come out and just blown them away based upon the performance Los Al had against Marina. But that's not the case. I mean, this is Los Al-Esperanza. This is the Millennium Cup. I mean, both teams playing hard.
2nd down and 8. Hunsfeld.
Hunsfeld just breaks free. I tell you what, this is a total breakdown of Los Alamitos on the tackling there. I mean, that's just a total breakdown in tackling. They had Hunsfeld strung out. They had him going to the sideline, and the players, instead of attacking Hunsfeld, allow themselves to get locked up, and Hunsfeld goes down for the touchdown. So Esperanza takes the lead. Okay, let's go down to the sideline, and Keith Jones has a little article for us.
Game plan offense seems to be working. Number one goal was to make sure that Jared Moore had a fantastic game on the ground. Number one, we've seen that work. Then they've thrown out all kinds of special things. A brand new scoring weapon on this last run. A pass to Jared Moore, who hasn't scored a touchdown reception all year long. Los Al is going to have to really step up if they're going to be able to pull this one off.
Well, thank you, Keith, and the extra point is good. Tyler Dries punches it through, so 14-7. Los Alamitos did get the kick to start the second half, but a strong defensive stand by the Aztecs and a quick strike, and we say quick as a relative term, as Hunsfeld makes a nice cut, and as you say, Ron, Los Alamitos really had him dead to rights, and he just made a great cut upfield, and Los Alamitos now in trouble.
Well, Fritz, I'm going to say, that's a breakdown on Los Al's, you know, tackling capability, because there is no way he should have been able to make that cut. They had him strung. They had 4 guys in position to make the tackle, and, I mean, guys just went to sleep, Fritz.
Well, and I say trouble only because Los Alamitos' offense, with the exception of one series, has not looked strong. Tyler Dries.
Oh, this one's out the back of the end zone. That's a big, strong kick.
So for the Aztecs right now, they are clicking on all cylinders, and Clark Evans is now going to be shouldered with trying to get this offense going. It has been lethargic all night.
Yeah, Fritz, I mean, with the exception of the one series, pretty much Los Al's been 3 and out or 6 and out for all night long. And, I mean, they've only had 5 series so far, and they've only had 1 where they really moved the ball. The other 4 series, Esperanza's done a great job of shutting down Los Al's offense.
Well, and Ron, the other thing is the Los Alamitos offense needs to give this Griffin defense a break. They have played most of this game. Cody Perez in the backfield, low snap. Clark Evans going to get off to the races. And as typical, does not avoid the hit.
Nope, picks up a first down. But this is one of the things I think you look at. It looks like Francisco Vargas was the first one to get to him along with Hayden Pierce. I mean, you saw it again, Fritz. Esperanza just crashed the blitz hard. I mean, they're selling out. They've recognized that the only way they're going to stop Los Al tonight is just to absolutely crash the blitz every time. Bring 1 or 2 guys and just bring them in and try and keep Clark Evans off of his game plan.
Well, and they have done it. I even suggested that maybe the Aztecs would back off of it, but Clark Evans has given them no reason to back off of it. Has not been able to connect with the receivers. There we go there on the far side. Jenkins gets out. Boy, that's how dangerous the receivers can be.
Okay, fans get a little upset here because a little bit of a late hit there. But Stubblefield on the tackle. But okay, that's the first time. But again, I mean, Fritz, you saw it. Evans, I mean, he threw that ball low. I mean, he's not getting time to set up and throw off his front foot. You know, Esperanza is still disrupting the play. But nice pass out there. Jenkins picks up the ball, takes a good run downfield. Los Al now at the 46-yard line.
Jenkins is your man in motion. Up the middle, Clark will take it, and well covered. Evans will pick up 2 or 3. Now we've got a few of the...
Yeah, they get a little upset. One of the players for Esperanza, they're kind of, you know, fans here get a little upset about what his playing style is, but Vargas and Warner on the tackle there, and it's Warner that the Los Al fans are getting a little upset about. But, you know, this is one of the things Los Al's got to do here. I mean, they've got to make this drive happen. They have to come back and score on this series.
Well, you can see a little bit more hop in the step of the Griffins. Empty backfield. Clark Evans.
Oh, boy, I tell you what. I don't know what this play was. I mean, Sean Avila, the first one there on the top. I don't know what this play was, Fritz. I mean, if Evans was supposed to pull it down and run it, you can't run it when 6 guys are standing there in front of you wearing scarlet uniform tops. I mean, the Los Al coaches right now, this is looking like the Fountain Valley game last week. I mean, just in disarray on what they're supposed to be calling for the plays, and this is not what we expect to see.
Ron, he was going to go left side, and you could tell there were 3 bodies right there, and then they could just collapse that pocket. Well, here we go, 3rd down and 14. You would expect a passing down. Clark Evans hasn't really had the time to throw downfield long, so you would almost expect a little shorter pass, and then again maybe a longer pass. And the receiver, Jenkins, takes a big-time hit.
Yeah, in fact, that's the first time that Los Alamitos actually had an opportunity to go ahead and make a pass there. Okay, let's go back down to Keith Jones.
That's 4th down for Los Alamitos. 4th and 14. Hayden Pierce will be back to receive the punt.
Is one of the defensive keys to this game, according to Coach Pendleton, the Aztecs coach. Avila and Dame Poole, who is their safety, are the 2 guys who really have the responsibility of containing the run and the pass. And as of this time, it looks like it's starting to be effective.
Okay, there we see the punt again. Again, Cherie with that kind of ugly rugby punt. Fair catch.
Hayden Pierce for the Aztecs there, and out comes the offense, and this offense is starting to get warmed up for the Aztecs. They've been taking it in small chunks in the first half, but boy, did they get a nice run from Bootsfeld, and this defense for the Aztecs has really kept them in the game. 14-7 Aztecs on top, and this Griffin defense has been on the field most of this game.
Yeah, I mean, we have 6:11 left in the 3rd quarter, which means we've played about 30 minutes so far, and I'd say out of that 30 minutes, probably Los Al's defense has been on the field for 24 of those 30 minutes.
Bootsfield, your man in motion, they're going to give that to Honsecker, and Honsecker with a nice pickup. So now whoever they give the ball to, ripping off big yardage.
Yeah, Nathan Castaneda with the tackle there, and I mean, this is what you're seeing now. You're starting to see Los Al's defense is tired. They're out of sorts. In fact, the Los Al coaches call a timeout right now. I think probably give their guys a little bit of a breather. You can see Coach Scher down there is getting a little bit loud with the guys, probably trying to tell them, hey, listen, come on, you just got to make tackles out here. This isn't rocket science.
Well, and really, what can you expect? I mean, they have been on the field.
Fritz, I'm going to interrupt you a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm watching Coach Barnes right now. I mean, he's heated. He's upset with these guys.
Well, and really, again, we went back and talked about, you can see 6:04 there. That is in the 3rd quarter. This defense has been on the field a long time tonight, and the Griffins better get going, or else they're going to go down to 2-2 in league play. And we've got playoff implications as it is with a 2-1 record. One loss could throw things into a 3-way tie, coin flip, and so on. 2-2, you're going to be out of that running.
Yeah, Fritz, you know, I'm taking a look again here at Esperanza's offensive line, and I mean, I'm not seeing the big guys there that I've seen in the past. And Los Al's defensive line should be able to control these guys, and they're just not having an opportunity to do it tonight.
McDonald give it to the very dangerous Moore. Nopolis comes up to make the stop there. You know, Ron, where in the first half it looked like they were more going east to west, now it seems like they're going more north-south. And again, I assume that they're taking advantage of the tiredness of the Griffins, but it looks like they're heading more upfield than stretching it out.
Sure, do the quick hits. You know, like I say, you see the counter plays, you see Moore a lot of times is going to go cross-counter to the play. He's not going to be the guy that's going to be the lead guy on the play, you know, heading into the same direction. He's going to go on the opposite direction of the flow. I mean, they're just trying to see if they can keep wearing Los Al out.
Second down and 9 for the Aztecs. Huntsville, your man in motion. Hunsaker.
Well, I tell you right now, one of the things I'm seeing also, give a lot of credit to Esperanza's, you know, what I'll call wide receivers, really downfield blockers. I mean, they're doing a great job of locking up the cornerbacks and just pushing them out of the way of the running backs for Esperanza. That's one of the reasons why Esperanza's picking up yardage.
If you look at number 3 there, Matt Hunsaker, I mean, Ron, he wasn't picking up more than 1 to 2 yards. Now he's picking up 5 and 6 yards. McDonald, the quick hitter to Moore. Look out, he is gone. Touchdown, Aztecs.
All the way.
And I'll tell you, this is a absolutely exhausted Los Alamitos defense. If the offense cannot give them a rest, this game may be over.
Well, that's Fritz. That's why I look at it and I go, okay, what are you seeing here? You're seeing the defense just, I don't know what it is. I mean, the coaches have to be telling them that they have to be making the tackles off these guys. They have to start tackling everybody out there. And you're just not seeing it. You're just seeing guys running free right now.
Kick is up, and it is good as Tyler Dries punches it through and widens the lead. The difference is 14, 21 to 7 as the Aztecs put another one up on the board. And that slow, grinded out offense is now turning into 5 and 6, 7-yard pickups and some big runs. And at this point, the Aztecs really have not had to even put it in the air.
Yeah, I mean, with a 14-point lead with 4.5 minutes to go in this third quarter, tell you what, Los Al is in danger here right now. I mean, if they don't win this game this week, I'm going to tell you something, Fritz. They're in danger of not going to the playoffs.
Maybe for the second year.
Yeah, for the second year in a row. And I'm sorry, you know, you're going to be in potential of ending up maybe 8-2. And I'm not even going to count that there's going to be a win against Newport Harbor next week.
Listen,
not by any means, especially since Newport Harbor beat them last year. And you end up with another 7-3 year or 8-2, and you know what? You could see Los Al maybe not even finishing the top 3 in the league. This may be returnable.
Taken on the 2-yard line. Stumbles a little bit, right up the middle, right into some red shirts. And Darryl
really
Jenkins.
No difference because it's out to about the 21, 22-yard line, so not a big run back for Los Al.
Well, Clark Evans, the senior quarterback, has not been able to get a lot done on the ground, which has been one of his weapons. Has not been able to get it done in the air. Even the short pass, under pressure all night. This offensive line is going to have to pick up some of that blitz. And again, if nothing else, they need a long drive here just to give this defense a break. You look at the defensive line on the sideline, they're all on the bench. Clark Evans, good coverage downfield, has nowhere to go.
Well, Fritz, this is one of the things I'm trying to figure out. Okay, Cody Perez is the only running back being held back. It's the 5 offensive linemen, which means, okay, there's 6 guys back plus Evans, means 4 receivers are going downfield. Esperanza's bringing 1, maybe 2 guys in the rush along with the 4 down line, which means 6 guys are rushing. There should be single isolation coverage downfield. Evans ought to be able to be finding a guy downfield who's open.
Well, and not to mention you've got 2 of the best receivers probably in the Sunset League.
Yeah, it's just really highly surprising.
4:05 left here in the third quarter. Little comeback, nice open field tackle. That is complete to Jenkins.
Yeah, that's Stubblefield on the tackle there. And again, that's what you have to do in that situation. I mean, you know, but Esperanza continuing with the blitz. 6 guys coming that time.
(21-7), Aztecs on top. Both these teams 2-1. Someone's going to leave tonight's contest even in the Sunset League. Cherie is your man in motion. Double reverse, this will probably be a pass. Looks like Richardson wanted to throw it, turns the corner.
Oh, now we got a flag on the play. Unbelievable. Unbelievable they're going to call this. They're going to call this a crackback block. Unbelievable. I've not seen Esperanza called for all night long. And I mean, I've seen some what would be questionable holding calls on the part of Esperanza, and they're going to call holding on Los Al on this play. Unbelievable. Wow. That's the second one I'll say I think is really suspicious that call was made.
Well, things just aren't going the Griffins' way, and they are moving back here.
I mean, Daryl Jenkins does a great job there of, you know, turning a busted play into a great downfield run.
Second, 14 on Griffins.
Not quite sure how anybody saw holding on that play.
Clock back underway. 3 minutes left here in the third quarter. Clark Evans, the most time he's had all night, flushed out of the pocket, still looking for a receiver, dumps it off to Richardson. He could be dangerous.
Oh, Richardson with them great open field moves, gets downfield.
And we may have a personal foul on.
Well, we got a flag here along the sideline.
Let's see what it's called. Our spotter, Steve Leitner,
thinks it's roughing the passer here, so hopefully this will be for Los Al. Yep, they're calling roughing the passer. It'll be 15 yards for Los Al here.
Well, and Ron, all night there's been some questionable physical play after the whistle. And good job to our spotter, Steve Leitner, who saw that flag. We were all concentrating downfield.
Well, Fritz, you kind of had to wonder at what point in the game did you start to see the physical play coming out and some of the shots.
Yeah, really, in the first half it wasn't there, which isn't like a
Right, you almost kind of started wondering, was this really an Esperanza Los Al game? I mean, it was a very cleanly played game. Now we're starting to get a little bit of the, late hits and cheap shots that you expect to see.
Well, and maybe that's what the Griffins need to kind of get out of this fog. 2 minutes, 43 seconds in the third quarter. Trips on the far side. And really since the first...
Evans audibleizing here.
Yeah, since early in the second quarter, this is the best offensive drive we've seen as Evans calls his own number, gets out close to the 30-yard line.
I'll tell you, Fritz, okay, Lopez got the tackle there. I didn't like that call. I mean, I don't think I know what he saw, but Esperanza is blitzing every time. And, he's got to let his receivers open up some lanes for him. And unless he starts throwing the ball downfield a little bit more, I think Esperanza's just going to keep coming after him all the time.
2nd down and 7, ball on the 30. Little urgency in the Griffin step. Richardson, your man in motion. They fake it to him. Clark Evans is having time, just can't find a guy, and almost throws it in the hand. Now
this is pass interference.
Yeah, something happened there because that was a big miss.
Yeah, that's not what you expect to see. In fact, I was wondering for a moment who Evans was throwing to or what route was being run.
Sean McDonald was the Aztec.
Yeah, this is going to be defensive holding.
So 2 big penalties going in the favor of Los Alamitos. The roughing the passer call a few plays ago. And then the pass interference there. So Los Alamitos moving the ball as effectively through penalties as they have on this drive on the ground.
Fritz, this is what I can't figure out. Los Al plays like they're zombies for like 5 or 6 series prior to this one, and all of a sudden just something lights the fire under them. Well, where was this fire for the other 5 series?
Empty backfield. Big rush. In and out of the hands, and that doesn't happen much as Daryl Jenkins can't hang on.
No, ball was just a little bit behind Daryl, but as they say, if you get your hand on it, you're expected to catch it.
2nd down and 10, minute 45 left here in the third quarter. So this is good gut check time for Los Alamitos. They need to score here.
Oh, absolutely, and I would expect after last week's game with 2 missed field goals, there's not a chance Los Al is going to go for a field goal in this situation.
Evans under heavy pressure and nice.
Oh, great catch.
And Richardson cuts it back inside.
Absolutely phenomenal catch by Richardson. I mean, Evans had to step up and throw quick because, again, Esperanza brought the 3 men on the blitz. And you look at it and you just go, wow, what a catch by Richardson to make the adjustment there.
As we said earlier, one of the 2 best receivers in this league, Paul Richardson. 10 touchdowns for tonight. Mark it at 11. Snap back, kick up, and it is good.
So
Daniel Boyer.
7-point game here, Fritz. 21-14 with 1:37 left in the 3rd quarter.
Now, Ron, did that defense get enough rest for the Griffins?
Well, the one thing about Los Al's offense is they move quick. I mean, it's not like they're on the field running 5-yard running plays. I mean, yeah, I think it's a good pickup for Los Al's defense because they had about 4 or 5 minutes to sit on the sideline, but I think more importantly, they saw that their guys are starting to score. You know, the offense is in the game. I mean, it's nothing more frustrating for a defense to really be trying to work hard, keep the opposing team out of the end zone, and not get any help from the other half of the team, and getting points on your own side. So Cadlett's here to kick. Going to be real critical for him on this one. Get it deep into the end zone. Don't allow a run back.
Got 1:37 left here in the 3rd quarter, and this Los Alamitos stands now coming to life.
Oh, this is a good-looking kick. This is going to be close. No, they don't even try for it. So, nice kickoff there by Zach Cadlitz. Puts it about 4 yards deep. Does what he's supposed to do.
Well, this is gut check time for the Los Alamitos defense. This could be a defining series for this defense. If they're going to give up yards like they did, it's going to be tough for the Los Alamitos offense to keep matching scores. If they can put up a hold, it's going to give their offense a chance to get back out on the field.
There we go. That time everybody got tackled. That's a good start, Fritz.
Yes, it is.
Looks like Schnitzer and Len on the tackle there for Los Alamitos.
And it looked like Hunsaker was the ball carrier. Sorry, folks. They've got so many folks touching that ball, it's a little hard to pick up a number. So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Clock continues to run at 1:27 here in the 3rd. McDonald climbs in under center, and they're going to give the
counter play again.
More.
And that's another great play by Los Alamitos. Boy, Joe Lent just did a great job of getting in the backfield there and picking up more and dragging him down to the ground. Okay, Fritz, this is what we've seen before, 3rd and long. This is where Los Al has to step up and make the play. I mean, this would be the one time they can force a punt from Esperanza deep in their own territory.
Absolutely, and get the ball back to the offense. Looks like that rest did help. So 3rd down and 10, clock now under 39 seconds in the 3rd. They're going to pass it out to Hunsfeld, trying to get around the corner. And
he did. Yeah, again, Fritz, this is what we've seen time after time after time. I mean, 2 great plays. Hunsfeld gets the outside, and I, for the life of me, cannot figure out why someone is not just coming in and crashing hard into the guy and knocking him down. It's like they're waiting for him to come to him to make the tackle, and you can't play football that way. You have to go attack that guy.
So a fresh set of downs mark the ball just beyond the 30-yard line. Likely be the last play before the 4th quarter. McDonald gonna keep it and breaks away, finds a little lane. And here we are.
Richardson was on the tackle there.
Ron, now they're back to picking it up in big chunks.
Yeah, they are. They're a little bit fired up again. I mean, Fritz, I'll tell you what, this is the whole thing. Los Al holds them tight for 2 downs. Looks like they're going to start controlling them again. And what happens? Esperanza just takes a guy, does a quick, easy pitch toss outside, picks up the first down, and all of a sudden it gives Esperanza, you know, a breath of fresh air, and they say, okay, we're in this game. We've got control again. I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know why when Huntsville gets the outside, the Los Al guys just aren't coming up and hitting them hard.
Well, it is Sunset League football, folks. And add to it the old Empire grudge match that this competition started in. I mean, for the Aztecs and the Griffins, boy, when they were years and years and years ago.
We're going to go to the field when we get a break here, guys.
In the Empire League, they used to fight it out, and they took that same grudge match right into the Sunset League. Let's go downstairs to Keith Jones.
All right, we got some technical difficulties, so we're back on the play. Joe Lent makes a tackle there. So again, Esperanza picks up maybe about 3 yards on that play.
Jared Moore, ball carrier. So there was an example of a good defensive stand. That brings up 2nd down and 7.
Well, but Fritz, time and time again, we see it. Los Al will hold Esperanza to maybe 2-3 yards on the first 2 downs, and then bang, that's a 10-yard play rip off.
Jared Moore.
We're going to go back to camera 1
Moore
here.
is just a horse out there on the field. Okay, let's try to go back down to Keith Jones again. Up. Doesn't look like he's ready, so we'll stay on the field.
That'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. Now this is the down that Los Alamitos has had so much trouble with.
We're going to go to the field real quick.
Still early in the 4th quarter, Los Alamitos fans are on their
quick toss to Huntsville. And again, he gets to the outside, and it's 1st down. I'm going to tell you, Huntsville just is tearing Los Alamitos up. You got Anthony Annapolis on the tackle there. So as they move the chains, let's go down to Keith Jones.
So here we are, at the end of the Sunset League season, 1 game left, and once again the championship's a toss-up. We right now have 4 teams with 1 loss, so a 4-way tie for first. 4 of those teams are all matching up tonight. Los Al-Esperanza here, Fountain Valley, and Edison. So after tonight, it'll be down to a 2-way tie with 1 loss apiece. But this game is crucial. We'll talk about more of that later. Back to you.
Again, handoff on the counter play to the fullback there. Hunsaker picks up about 7 yards.
The dangerous one is Hunsfeld. I mean, he has been the absolute stud, and Moore's got the size. I mean, at some point, Hunsfeld at 175 pounds, Gerald Moore you'd expect to maybe be the fast guy, the grinder, and they use obviously Moore up the middle, but Hunsfeld has been dangerous on the outside, and boy, when he finds a lane, it doesn't take much for him to jump into that 2nd gear. McDonald going to keep it.
That time, Los Al, nice pursuit there by Joe Lent.
9:31 left here in this game. And the way the Aztecs are driving the ball, Los Alamitos will be short on time.
Well, Fritz, this is something interesting. I don't see Mason Powell on the field. I see him standing on the sideline. I'm not sure, maybe slight injury, or maybe the coaches want to give him a little bit of a break on this series. Again, Hunsfeld, they've got him trapped. Now this time they've held him, and this time they did what I said they need to do, Fritz. They need to just come up and attack him. Don't let him set the pace of play on that. Come up and knock him down. But I tell you what, with 4th and 2 here, Esperanza is going to go for this.
Well, as well they should. I mean, usually 3rd down is their big pickup.
Oh, this is interesting. Are they bringing a punt team on the field? They're taking their offense off.
Well, they went for it 4th down, which was really a scoring opportunity. right before the halftime break. Remember, they went for that 4th down and got it, and that kept that drive alive and ended up being a touchdown.
Wow, Fritz, with the way they've been moving the ball, I am highly surprised Esperanza did not go for it. Now there's going to be delay a game. That's no big deal because they're trying to buy more space for the punter. I think their strategy is they're going to try and pin Los Al deep here with about 8 minutes left to go in the game.
Well, and here's the deal, Ron. Why not? I mean, you've been literally taking the potency out of the offense of Los Alamitos. I mean, pin them deep and let your defense do their job. Tyler Dries stands on his 40-yard line to handle this punt.
Not a very good punt, but it's going to bounce away and go out of bounds about the 15-yard line. So Dries does his job pretty much. I mean, it wasn't a great punt, but you know what? Los Al now has 85 yards to go and just a shade over 8 minutes left in the game.
One score to tie it, another to go ahead.
Well, Fritz, one thing we haven't talked about tonight, and maybe folks at home will pick it up, is that this is a brand new field here at Bradford Stadium, and I mean, they did a great job with it.
We are seeing this synthetic field at more venues. We saw it probably first at Orange Coast College, which is just a beautiful field. That's probably as much as 4 or 5 years ago. At Long Beach Vets 2 to 3 years ago. And they just put this in this summer. Wonderful turf to play on. Clark Evans, under pressure, gets the quick hitter out there, and Cherie with the catch.
Yep, that's what you need to do. Throw the ball underneath the coverage, let Cherie pick it up and run with it. This is what Evans is going to have to get into, Fritz. I mean, he's going to have to look for the receiver. 2-3 seconds, bam, ball's got to be gone. I mean, Esperanza just keeps bringing the pressure, and now they've called timeout. There's an injured player.
Cherie looks like he's got a cramp. In fact, one of the Esperanza coaches started stretching him out.
Yeah, it looks like one of their trainers is helping out over there. In fact, it looks like both legs are cramping. Of course, John Cherie's pretty much been on the field the entire night.
Well, and not to throw any drama into this, but he's also the punter. So they got to get him loosened up. So we have 8:06 left. Los Alamitos down by 7. And as Keith Jones said, 4 teams at 4-1, all seen action tonight playing each other.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing that, you know, you think about it. If you're Los Al, you end up winning tonight, assuming Edison wins. Basically, Los Al now has control of its destiny. All they have to do is beat Newport Harbor. They'll come out as the #1 seed from the Sunset League. Should Los Al and Fountain Valley both win tonight, then Fountain Valley is going to be controlling the destiny of who's going to be in the #1 team coming out of the Sunset League. But Los Al will be set up in good position. At worst, should probably come out as the #2 team. Should Los Al lose tonight, I'll tell you what, at best, they'll be the 3rd place team in the Sunset League.
Which means you're going to play a powerhouse as your first playoff draw.
Yeah, at that point in time, the only way Los Al holds 3rd place in the Sunset League is if both Edison and Los Al lose tonight.
Clark Evans under big-time pressure, and they got him.
Boy, and there's a flag on the play, too. Looks like there might have been a hold. I'll tell you what, he cannot hold the ball for 5 seconds. I'm not going to put it on his O-line this time. Clark Evans is just not releasing the ball. I mean, he's got to learn that he's got to throw the ball away if he's at 4 seconds. I mean, throw it into the 4th row of the stands, get rid of it. Don't get sacked back there.
Now under 8 minutes left in this contest, and the strategy by Bill Pendleton to kick it away, pin Los Alamitos deep, and let your defense do the job, it is working. So this brings up a 2nd down and 20, and expect to see the heat coming again.
Oh, this is just a horrible pass. I'll tell you what, there's something wrong with Evans' arm. You know, we noticed this earlier in the season, Fritz. In fact, I saw him get up after the last play. He was really holding that right arm. I don't think he's 100%.
Well, he took quite a...
I mean, that ball had nothing on it.
Well, and I'm not so sure it didn't get hit, or maybe his arm got hit.
No, he shot-putted it. I mean, that wasn't even a throwing motion.
Really needs your help, so everybody up on your feet. Come on, let's be as loud as we can. Be proud.
I mean, I'll say right now, this is a loss of composure on the part of Los Al.
Well, and look at Coach Barnes talking to the leader on that offense, and he's letting him have it. I mean, and you know, Clark Evans has been the broad shoulders that this offense has rested on, and he has been under pressure all night long. As you say, though, Ron, some questionable calls, not getting rid of the ball. He's had some time. Again, you have to ask yourself the question, is the defensive secondary for the Aztecs that strong to cover your two best receivers in the Sunset League?
No, I don't think they are. I mean, they've not shown any time previously that they could stop anyone's passing attack. But with 7.5 minutes to go now, I mean, 3rd and 20.
Well, Ron, let's be clear about this. If the Aztecs get a stop here, you give it back to Esperanza, and heck, they'll run the rest of the clock out.
Yeah, they possibly
drive.
I mean, that's where you're definitely going to have to force a 3 and out. And now your defensive line has basically had no time to rest.
We wouldn't normally say this with 7:31 left on the clock, and the way this game has unfolded, looking at 3rd and 20, this may be the game-deciding 3rd down play.
Oh, again, great play there by Richardson. Oh, this is going to be close. This is going to be very close where they've marked this. They're marking it on about the 42-yard line. I'm not quite sure. Oh, they're showing, boy, the marker. They're going to call for a measurement. Okay, that's the right thing to do. I mean, this was very close when they came down with it.
Well, Ron, I don't know from this perspective.
But
can you get an eye on that and see how close that is?
I think it's going to be by about maybe 6 inches of the ball if they do have it. It's not that far off either way. But again, Fritz, I'll tell you what, that throw, that looked like a shot put. That did not look like a throw.
It certainly did. I didn't even know if there'd be a receiver under it. It did look like it came out.
They've got it. Los Al got it by about the length of the ball.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a good throw. And so far, Los Al's established no running game tonight other than Clark Evans running the ball. Fritz, I'm gonna say he's got an injured shoulder.
Well, and here's the deal. With 7:12 left, we need 2 scores if you're a Los Al fan. And, you know, Los Alamitos has struggled to move the ball quickly, so time could be the biggest enemy for the Griffins. Evans calls his own number, picks up likely 2 on the play.
Well, again, the receivers are covered deep downfield, and this is what I don't understand. John Werner on the tackle there. Why are the Griffins not running someone under the coverage on a slant route? I mean, give Evans a dump-off guy. You 4 guys going deep every time, and I don't know. Maybe Clark just doesn't feel like he can make the throws right now, or he's not looking for the hot receiver, or something else is going on out there. But, boy, I tell you, this is just playing into Esperanza's hands at this point.
2nd down and 8. Evans, that's your little screen to Cody Perez.
Picks up about 3-4 yards on the play.
Well, this will bring up another interesting 3rd down.
Dane Poole
in on the stop. Now, I'll tell you something, Ron, this drive is taking some time. I mean, the Aztecs are really holding Los Alamitos in check. No big pickups here. This drive started with about 9.5 minutes on the clock.
But that's okay, Fritz. With 5:45 to go in the game, I'm not going to worry about Los Al getting down and making a score here by running out of time on the clock. What I do worry about is that with this series, they've got to get it down here. Oh, he just overthrows. That time Evans had some pace on the ball and just overthrew the ball.
Well,
okay, I don't see a punt team coming on the field.
No, I don't think you can. I mean, Aztecs will run this clock out without any trouble. The question is, what do you call?
Oh, I would call 3 guys going deep, drag your secondary down, and run a guy underneath. Well, but I'll tell you what, Fritz, I wouldn't be surprised if you see 6, maybe 7 Aztecs on the rush.
Or do you use Clark Evans and let him run it? He's not been effective tonight. And that's intercepted.
Yes, it is.
Pass interception by number
And
I mean, that ball just floated.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got nothing on it. You know.
I'll tell you, that looked like what Clark Evans generally throws into the corner of the end zone.
Yeah.
Those lob passes.
I mean, he's throwing off his back foot. I tell you what, he's totally flustered out there. He's not getting any time to throw.
And he had the receiver all turned around. I mean, he didn't even give that receiver a chance. So
right.
I agree with you. Something has got to be wrong. This is not the Clark Evans that we are used to seeing.
And like
now,
I say, I'm just absolutely stunned that there's been no drag across the middle of the field with a receiver. Down low, underneath the coverage. 3 guys deep, drag 4 guys with him, run a guy on a quick slant across the middle and catch him.
5:22 left in this contest. Hunsaker.
Hunsaker, but the defense does a good job. You know, it's like we've seen time and time again. First down, Los Al makes the tackle. So it's going to be 2nd and 10.
Gosh, at some point, if Los Alamitos can get a stop here, maybe the Aztecs will go into a semi-prevent and give Clark Evans a little
I
bit
tell you,
more time.
Fritz, that'd be the worst move that the Aztecs
I know,
could
you
do.
hate prevent defense.
Oh, I tell you, that to me is called the score upon defense. I think it's the worst thing ever invented in the game, and I don't know why any coach ever thinks it's going to work.
Oh, Lord. Well, we'll worry about that if Los Alamitos gets a stop.
McDonald still had the ball. Looks like Los Al made the stop again, maybe a gain of a yard. Looks like the first one getting up might be Jacob Frembling there with the tackle on that play.
Yet, Ron, it's the 3rd down that's been the bugaboo for the Griffins.
Yes, it has, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Hoosfeld get the ball on this one.
So, ladies and gentlemen, watch for number 10. He's been very dangerous. He spreads it out and then turns it up. And he has been the go-to guy to pick up the first down. Great game plan. You have to tip your hat to Bill Pendleton. 4:06 left in week number 4 of the Sunset League.
There it is. He's out to about close, maybe about half a yard. That's what we said. Once again, Los Al does a great job on the first 2 downs, and then bam, 8-yard pickup.
4th and 1 for the Aztecs.
Well,
oh, you know Esperanza is going to go this time. Nope, they're going to punt it again. Okay, Pendleton says, all right, I think my guys can stop him out there. You know, Fritz, it's probably not a bad thought on his part because he's going to run this clock down. He'll probably take the penalty again, so he'll run it down close to maybe about 3:10.
well, and the way they've been bringing pressure, I mean, Los Alamitos has not shown that they can score quickly.
They're not punting it. They're not punting.
They're not punting. They've come back on the field. Los Al better get ready here. Oh, now they call timeout. Something was totally confused there. Boy, Los Al may have gotten lucky there that there was some confusion on the part of Esperanza because...
Well, yeah, you had Josh Barut back waiting for the punt. Had they run a play, you would have had some Griffins out of position.
Oh, I think that would have been a huge gainer. I'll tell you what, right now I see the punter for Esperanza on the sideline standing at the 50-yard line. Los Al better be ready for a run play here.
Well, no shortage of excitement in the Sunset League when these two teams match up. 3:15 left on the clock. 21-7, Aztecs on top. 4th down and 1. 1 yard separates the Aztecs from extending this drive. McDonald looking for a hard count. Is he going to try to pull the Griffins off sides? Looks like he's going with the hard count.
Just trying to get outside.
Now McDonald's looking over the coach going like, now what do I do? Yeah. That didn't work.
Oh, that was classic.
That was like, he did everything except shrug his shoulders. Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, now the clock should have stopped right here. Yeah, I mean, they just ran off about 3-4 seconds. They shouldn't have. You know, hasn't been the greatest clock management tonight, but I don't think it's anything deliberate. I think it's just not paying a whole lot of attention. So now there will be a punt, definitely with 4th and 8.
Coach Barnes is on the field, likely talking about the clock.
saying, hey, I should have about 4 more seconds. There they did. They reset it again, 3:15. Yeah, you can't start the clock if there's never a play. And because they were coming out of a timeout, there never should have been a clock started.
Josh Baruch stands on his 20-yard line.
Oh, bad snap, but a big kick. Is Baruch? No, Baruch's not going to get a chance to make a touch on that ball, and Esperanza downs it on the 18-yard line.
Credit number 55, Tyler Dries, has been great. And who's down on the field? Is that?
That's one of the players for Esperanza.
Let's go, Clark.
Now, Coach Barnes, he's coached a lot of these contests, and you can see he is trying to get this offense fired up. In fact, this injury will probably give them just a few more moments to figure out how they're going to run this series. Credit this defense for giving the Los Al offense another opportunity. 3:06 left. Week 9 of the 2008 campaign, and the Griffins trying to hang on what may be a share of the playoffs, or maybe controlling the playoffs, but they have a little bit of work to do.
Now, Fritz, let's talk about, okay, the other game tonight besides the Bell game is being played is Newport Harbor versus Marina. I fully expect Newport Harbor is going to blow Marina out. So coming into next week, you're going to have Newport Harbor with 2 losses, I believe. You will have the winners of the 2 games that are being played right now with Esperanza Los Al and Edison Fountain Valley. Essentially, it's going to be a scramble.
Well, it will be a scramble. In fact, unfortunately, over the last few years, it has been a coin toss, and that just really, throws the playoff season into a coin. I mean, at some level, you could.
Well, the other thing is, too, is that you have South Coast League this year where you have essentially it's probably going to be Tesoro, San Clemente, and Mission Viejo coming out of. You have the Moore League, and I mean, they're going to take 4 teams out of that league because it's a 7-team league. Then you're going to have Trinity, and you're going to have Sunset. Now, Trinity, you got the same situation. You're going to have 4 teams that are probably deserving of going to the playoffs, and Sunset's going to have 4 teams that are going to be qualified to go to the playoffs, but one of those leagues is going to end up with only 3 teams going.
Stubblefield, the injured Aztec, and he walks off under his own power. A big part of that defensive secondary, so we'll see if he comes back in. Clark Evans going for a
wide open receiver. Oh my gosh, I don't believe it. Oh, Richardson's that's Jenkins, just absolutely upset with himself. He knew he had a wide open pass right there.
Yeah, but Ron, a lot of air under that ball. It didn't need that much air.
No, it didn't need that much air, but Fritz, I'll tell you what, that just was,
Well, that's a play that Daryl Jenkins rarely misses.
Yeah, I mean, he just took his eye off the ball for a second, and, again, it's the indicative of some of the focus that Los Al's missing right now and hasn't had the whole game.
Ron, is this defense for the Aztecs lightening up on their rush?
They're coming only with about a 4-man rush.
Yep.
They're giving Evans time to throw. Oh, geez, he just leads Richardson, again, just led too far.
The sure-handed receivers with 2 big drops. Still, that ball does not look like it's coming out of.
No, it's not coming out with the kind of zip that you would expect to see. And I mean, Evans is just not leading his guys the way you expect.
Well, 3rd down and 10, 2 wide open receivers. Now, Ron, as we said, maybe if the Aztecs back off just a little bit, doesn't look like they're bringing that heavy rush. It is giving Clark Evans the time. It's almost like Evans doesn't know what to do with the extra time.
Oh, and he said, there we go. There we go, still on his feet. That's Richardson that time. Great job. Well, is that Jenkins? Boy, it's always tough to tell. No, that's Jenkins coming down with the ball. And, just when you think that everything's done and they're out of it, Los Al comes through. Clark Evans makes a great throw downfield. Daryl Jenkins comes up with the ball. I guess that makes up for the previous one that he dropped. That's the receivers we expect for the Griffins.
Well, both stands on their feet, knowing the gravity of this game.
there you can see, okay, Esperanza's gone too deep on this. Yeah, they're definitely going into a prevent situation now.
Look out. This could be dangerous for
Evans has got room. Oh, how can they call? Oh, geez. I mean, I tell you, this is just getting petty out there. They're going to call a hold again.
Receiver, number 6.
They're calling the receivers. I tell you what, you know, the problem is I don't think the referees are used to seeing receivers that actually know how to block. And Los Al, I can't see anything that was wrong with Jenkins on that one, where the way he was blocking. I mean, again, same thing. Hands are in, close, tight to the body. You're allowed to do that.
First and 16 for the Griffins.
Well, clock at 2:16. Clark Evans steps in, staring down a 1st and 16. And they really cannot afford to get short yardage plays. They have to keep moving it downfield.
This time the blitz comes. Great job there. That should stop the clock. Jenkins again comes down with the ball. So this will be 2nd and about 2 yards.
Clock continues to run, 1:53. Clark Evans.
Boy, that was to nobody that time. I mean, Jenkins would have been about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's size to come down with that throw.
So clock stopped at 1:45. Griffins down by 7.
So 3rd and 2 for Los Alamitos here.
Los Alamitos hoping to go to overtime for the 2nd week in a row, and that is a wish for the Griffins, that they would have the opportunity to tie this thing up. Evans with the empty backfield goes and runs it.
Oh, he's got a lot of running room.
Following his blocker.
Cutting back, he's still got his feet. All the way down to about the 15-yard line.
His best run of the night.
That was a great call by the Griffins on that play. Expecting a hard rush on the outside. Evans immediately just takes it on a quarterback keeper.
And more importantly, no flags. 1:34. Clock continues to run.
Boy, this is a little lackadaisical. Well, they're burning time off the clock. I mean, I don't think I'd feel so confident that on the 15-yard line I'm going to get in.
And Coach Barnes quickly calls for a timeout. Josh Baruch appeared to be out of position, and Coach Barnes is in someone's face to discuss it. And he's looking at Baruch. And on the sideline, the snapper, expecting the possibility of an extra point, has been practicing for the last couple of minutes, just taking snaps, getting that hold down.
Yep, this is going to be the one thing. I mean, you want to make sure you get that 1 point.
And the holder is Cook, the JV quarterback. Dalen Cook probably took a good 10 snaps there just to try and get the ball down.
Well, Fritz, I got to say, this is everything you asked for in an Esperanza Los Al game, coming down to the wire.
And it really doesn't matter what the record is. Any given year, this is always a good game. So ball sits on the 15-yard line. Griffins trying to tie this thing up. Clark Evans, all kinds of time, gonna run it. Has a little bit of room.
Still on his feet, still on his feet. Down to about the 4-yard line. No flags. This should be potentially close to a first down, and they're calling it. Yep, they're moving the chains up. Boy, Evans with a great move there, cut back on the field.
I mean, you just don't see a 233-pound young man move like that. Clark Evans, a special athlete.
Wide open receiver, touchdown, Los Alamitos.
Now, Ron, do I dare ask, do they go for 2 or go for 1?
You put the ball through the uprights. So Los Alamitos now within 1 point of tying this game up with 55 seconds to go. Well, Coach Barnes is still talking to Evans. Are they going to go for 2 here? Holy cow. They're going to put the season on the line.
Well, and after last week, maybe you don't even want to risk it.
And it looks like Esperanza just called timeout on this series. Oh, boy.
Okay, this is the pep talk of the season right here. Just watch.
I think at this point, Fritz, you actually don't give a pep talk. You calm your guys down. You just say, you know what, you guys know what you need to do. You know how you need to execute the play. Let's go out and do it.
Well, and Clark Evans is stuck in right between the center and the guard all year long on the short yardage stuff. But in this particular case, you got to make sure you get a little bit of push.
Well, you have a couple options in this play, and it's actually somewhat to Los Alamitos' advantage because here all you're looking for is just a quick 1-2 drop throw. I mean, it's not like you need big yardage downfield. You just need a 3-yard throw here. So all you have to do is get a quick pass to either Richardson or Jenkins, and you've got a 1-point lead. Let's see how this is going to play out. Boy, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. This could be the season. All on the line here for Los Alamitos.
54 seconds left in this game. Clark Evans going to pass it.
And there's a catch. Yes, it is. Wow. So with 55 seconds to go, Los Alamitos has a 1-point lead. Fritz, this is a classic. How many times do we see this?
Griffins
at the last second, someone takes a lead.
You know, Ron, I did not even see Richardson in the frame when that ball was thrown. I thought, who is he throwing it to? And with lightning speed, Richardson comes tearing across the goal line.
Well, you know, we've seen all season that, you know, Richardson, Jenkins, the 2 favorite receivers for Clark Evans out there. And I'll tell you what, Richardson does a great job of coming back to his QB on that play. I mean, wow. Los Al, I'm going to tell you, Fritz, 75% of this game, I would have to say the Griffins were not in control of the game.
Absolutely not.
And now for the last 2-3 minutes, they just come back, put themselves 1 point ahead. I'm sure the coaches are talking to the special teams, and I'm especially sure they're talking to Zach Cadlitz, and they're saying, all right, guy. In fact, John Barnes gives Zach Cadlitz a little friendly shove on the shoulder, says, come on, do what you know how to do. Put that thing in the end zone.
Huntsfield and Moore stand on their 2-yard line. And for the Aztecs, if they should lose to control most of this game, wow, you just think what could have been. And Ron, they let up on that last drive.
What did I tell you, Fritz? What's a prevent defense? Oh, good move here. Keeps the ball on the ground. Now they got to make the quick tackle. There they go. Nice job. I mean, prevent defense is what defense? It's a score upon defense.
Well, there still are a few options here, although the Aztecs have not been able to pick up big yardage. They did bring in Drew Huntsfeld.
Well, here's the thing, Fritz. What Los Al has to do here is they have to make sure they don't over-pursue and don't let Huntsfeld or Moore break free.
Well, Huntsfield was very effective in the late second quarter in moving the ball in the air. They have not thrown it much at all tonight, maybe 3-4 times. Huntsfield was able to move that ball and actually set them up before the halftime break to get that touchdown.
Well, with 49 seconds left, you've got to think about going to the air here. Huntsfeld's in motion. Yeah, he's looking. No, that's incomplete. That'll stop the clock, though. Somebody ought to tell the Esperanza timer it's his team on the field. Stop the clock as soon as the ball hits the ground.
Here's the intended receiver.
I'll tell you, that was an ugly throw. I can see why Huntsfeld's the leading thrower for Esperanza. So McDonald not able to take advantage of a quick route. 43 seconds left in the game. Esperanza 2nd and 10.
Remember, so far on the night.
All right, Huntsfeld's back in the QB position. He's under center. Huntsfeld, quick handoff. But he's tackled, Moore's tackled, and now this is now the time. I don't think Esperanza has any timeouts left. Oh, no, they do. They're using their last one.
Moore, the ball carrier there. A Griffin, had a great shoestring tackle there. Was drug about a yard or two, but really saved that from being a big pickup.
Well, the thing is, too, Fritz, is, I mean, if you're Esperanza, you do a running play right there. I mean, you have to burn that timeout, and you still have 35 seconds left. That's it. They're out of timeouts now. Should they have to run another play here? I mean, they're going to have to go to the air, Fritz, because they've got to stop the clock.
Last thing you want to do is stop the clock. Do they have any more timeouts?
Wow, what a game. Los Alamitos trying to go to 3-1 and stay atop of the Sunset League, but boy, the Aztecs have made it a tough battle, and this thing's still not over. 35.2 seconds. Los Alamitos goes for 2.
Yeah, and I'm not calling this game yet. There is still way too much left. I mean, as strong as we've seen the leg of Esperanza's kicker tonight, number 55, I'll tell you what, if they get down to maybe about the 40-yard line, I wouldn't be surprised to see them trotting him out on the field. Stubblefield, big throw, nobody there.
Stubblefield, the injured player.
Fourth down, here we go.
Here we go, it's 4th down with 29 seconds left.
Well, they had Stubblefield and Pierce in at the wide receiver spot and overthrown.
Boy, Husfeld's got a cannon for an arm. I'm surprised. Why are they not using him as a QB for all season?
When I did the stats for the game, I go, oh, gosh, they're lining Husfeld up as a wingback, and he's got almost 1,000 yards throwing. 28.8 seconds left. 4th down.
Well, if you're Esperanza here, I don't know how you can do a running play because you cannot afford. I mean, this clock will only stop for a fraction of a second. Oh, great job!
No flag.
No flag. Boy, it looked like that was Shaquille Richardson. Comes up with a huge play. Jumped up, boy, you can see right, you can't see it, but we can see the coaches. They're on the portal lifts and they're coming down right now. They're jumping up and down. They're absolutely thrilled by this. This will be take a knee time. Well, Fritz, okay, so Los Al looks like, unless something absolutely strange happens here. Okay, now we got Esperanza. At least I got most of it right. Los Al will now be 4-1. I'll tell you what, you want to know who the biggest group of Edison supporters are right now? The whole Los Alamitos fan population. They're definitely cheering for Edison to hopefully win that game tonight. There we go, take a knee, this should be it. Clock's running, no timeouts left for Esperanza. Los Al comes out of the field. Well, Fritz, I'll tell you what, wow. What a game.
I'll tell you, Coach Barnes was leading that charge out onto the field. These coaches, I have not seen these coaches this excited in a long time.
Oh yeah, you can tell. They're slapping each other on the back. They know they pulled this rabbit out of the hat. Well, I'll tell you what, Fritz, you know, again, Esperanza, Los Al, 2 great sets of coaches, 2 excellent teams, great programs. I mean, you know, 2 great ADs, Gary Meeks for Esperanza, Kerry Brody for Los Alamitos. You know, just class programs both sides, hard-fought game. I mean, everything you expected it to be. You know, another one right down to the wire. Last second win by Los Alamitos.
Well, Ron, let's go back to that scoring drive for Los Alamitos. We actually said, would the Aztecs pull back that pressure?
Yep.
You said absolutely not, they shouldn't, and they did, and it cost them the
game. They went into deep cover 2. They were trying to stop the big play, and what happened? They allowed Los Alamitos time to establish the pass or establish the run, and they paid the penalty for it. Fritz, I mean, you know, I've told you many times over the years, I don't think prevent defenses work. I especially don't think they work in high school. You don't have the athletes to make the coverage happen. To me, you should always be going and attacking every single time.
Well, and it was so effective all game long. There was absolutely no reason that they should have gotten away from it.
Why change what worked for you for 47 minutes out of the game? You know, I never understand that on coaches' parts. And I mean, I've seen it on coaches, you know, best coaches you can see out there. You see it in the pros, you see it in college. They changed their game plan at the last second.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take just a quick break. We'll be right back. Don't go away. Well, ladies and gentlemen, maybe we won't step away.
So all right, so we'll go ahead and take the stats for the game. Okay, just on penalties, both teams had 4 penalties. Los Al for 35 yards, Esperanza for 25 yards. Clark Evans, 16 of 28 for 219 yards, 18 carries for 107 yards, 1 interception, 1 running touchdown, 2 throws for touchdowns. Richardson, 6 receptions for 112 yards, 1 TD. Jenkins, 5 receptions for 61 yards, and Cadlitz, 1 reception for 15 yards. Cherie also a 4-yard pass for the final TD. So it was John Cherie who made that final touchdown reception. Boosfeld, 2 for 6 for 26 yards, 1 TD rushing, 11 carries for 95 yards. McDonald, 8 carries for 43 yards. Moore, 18 carries for 145 yards, 1 catch for TD, 1 run for TD. And then Hunsaker, 15 carries for 47 yards. I'll tell you what, guys, this is about one of the more exciting Los Al-Esperanza games I've seen in a long, long time.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap it up from Bradford Stadium. I'd like to thank our statistician, Lindsay Mays, our spotter, Steve Leitner. For Keith Jones, Ron Cluey, I am Fritz Pollard. The final score, 22-21. Los Alamitos over the Aztecs of Esperanza. Ladies and gentlemen, good night from Bradford Stadium.